I'm going to explain the world to you with these two quarters. And by the end, you'll want one far more than the other. Okay, but first, let me just level with you. These two quarters are actually the same, indistinguishable. They're worth a quarter of a US dollar, they're made out of nickel and copper, lined with silver, and if someone asked you for 25 cents, they wouldn't care which one you gave them. But for today, I'm just going to add this small paper covering, which is totally useless and worthless in of itself, just so we can know which is which. But they're the same. But I do want to say something about this blue one. So, this blue quarter has quite the story. So you might have heard of the world-renowned environmental activist Greta Thunberg. She's in the news from time to time, but you probably don't know about this game she plays. While protesting, she often spends hours of the day just walking along the streets fighting for change, as you do. But she started to notice that she found a lot of actual change at the same time, stepping on nickels and quarters, so she decided to start picking them up. It was a game she called Change for Change, and she would collect all of the coins she found on the road, then put them together to help a person in need on the streets. It wasn't a lot. Her best days often ended with maybe $1, but it was something. And this blue quarter was the first quarter she ever picked up. And she gave it to a person in New York City. And a friend of mine happened to be working at the McDonald's where the homeless man spent it after telling about its story. My friend was interested, so he swapped it with his own so he could take it for himself. And he let me use it for this video. As for the red one, I don't know where it came from. So, if you could only take one of these quarters, which one would you want? Maybe you'll still take the red one because you don't care, or to be contrarian. But I think there's a little bit of an allure to this blue one. Okay, but what if the quarters were something completely different? Two students applying to college. They're best friends, they go to the same school, are in the same clubs, got the exact same grades in the same classes, and now both got perfect SAT scores. Now they want to go to Harvard, a school that accepted just over 3% of applicants. They're like quarters. So how do you differentiate between them? Well, you read their essays. Every year, tens of thousands of students apply for nowhere near enough spots at Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and dozens of other highly selective schools. Far more applicants are qualified to take the position than can fit. So schools end up picking the stories they like the most. The value is the same. They can do the work. But the story is what matters. And this goes 1,000 different ways. Colleges looking for colleges give largely the same quarter of value in academics, but their story is what changes. Harvard is a founding college formed before the US government itself, and almost 20% of US presidents have gone there. That story is a lot more interesting than the state college whose alumni list has some B-list celebrities. Thousands of applicants file in line for jobs, yet 85% of them are filled just through networking, the people that you already know, because the story is something you know more about. And thousands of brands sell barely different products with commercials and packaging being the only separating factor. So what this means is we live in a world of advertising. All value is based on perception. Now, you might say some things clearly have more value than others. I mean, a piece of paper can't do what an iPhone does. But an iPhone's features are only meaningful because we've been told they are. Commercials show happy people talking to each other on phones. But if advertisements said phones were devices for indoctrination, which they might be, then the value would be lost. The Catholic Church has advertised against loving a member of the same gender, and now it's taking a fight to reverse that message. Effective advertising doesn't even seem like advertising at all. It's just the story. It's what it is. So it's all about the story, and we are all cogs in the machine of advertisement, messaging, and propaganda. And it's used against you for profit and influence. But you can use it also for yourself. So naturally, the only way to thrive in such an ecosystem is to learn about it. Which is why in the coming weeks I plan to explore how advertising has shifted the way we think about and see products, places, and people. It'll be guided by this book, that I found in a used bookstore in Chicago. And I call it The Used Book about ads series, or tubas. And you should be very excited for the first episode coming soon on none other than the king of humbug, the master of hype, P.T. Barnum. You know, the guy from the circus? You will not want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that will change how you see everything. You need to be there. Also, did I sell you? Oh. I lost the blue paper. But did I sell you on the blue one? Yeah, let's just make another one. Did I sell you on this blue one? What if I said it has healing properties? I endorse it. Does that mean anything? The blue one is 1 year older than the other one. It's 1984, the year of Orwell. Will that sway you? The value is behind your eyes.